Okay, homework number 6. So here we have this starter code I want you to copy to your homework submission folder. After that, you can open it up, you can take a look. We'll do that later on. First, let's take a look at the description of the homework. Here, I want you to write 3 functions, 2 uppercase, 2 lowercase, and equals. For the 2 uppercase, I want you to convert all the characters in the given string to uppercase. Like, for example, if it is lowercase a to z, I want you to turn it into uppercase. Vice versa, the 2 lowercase function will actually turn any letters from uppercase letter A to Z, turn that into lowercase. Do not use the 2 upper or 2 lower functions. So here, there's a link to an example that you have learned in class. The program will ask user to input 2 strings in the main function. Then you will display them in uppercase and lowercase value. After that, you will check and see if both strings are equal. So the last function equals will just determine if the strings are the same or not. Here, I have 3 sample outputs. I want you to just try them out after you have coded. If I take a look at homework6.cbp, here is the starter code. So this is where you need to write your functions. The main programs has been given to you. There is no need to change anything at all. And here on line 14, I mentioned that is needed for the test script. So once you enter the inputs, I will actually just display that back on the screen. Later on, I will show you how I use an input file and run it against your program. First, I am going to put my name. So you'll notice that this 2 uppercase, 2 lowercase function has only 1 input. Word 1, word 2, they are string. And then in terms of the return type, we expect something to come back to display that on the console. So you have a CL, you print something out, and then you call the function, and the function should return a word that is all in uppercase. So the return type is a string. The function is to uppercase. And then you have 1 input. So I'm going to save it for now. And take a look at another program mentioned in here. So I want you to check this one out. Here, let me open it. So in this program, you will see that there is a char. X has the letter A in it. And then what happened is it increased that by 1. So now it's B, the capital letter B. After that, you print out X, and then this is the conversion. So if I add 32 from the uppercase A, it will turn into a lowercase. Alternatively, if you don't remember, it's like number 32, you can just say the lowercase a minus the uppercase A, and this one right here is the same as what you have from here for this one. Let's see how this one. Going to homework 6. And then here, I am going to use a for loop. And then I'll treat the string as an array of characters. So here I am going to say for. And then in I is going to set to 0. After that, I am going to say I less than word, and then the length. So here I use the function, one of the string function called length, to figure out how many characters are there in the array in that string array. And then after that, I'm going to do I++. Say if the word at, let's say, started from position 0, the word I is greater than or equals to the range between lowercase a to C. So words I greater than or equals to A, and it has to be less than or equals to C, lowercase letter C. You cannot just check one side and forget about the other side. In the test cases, you will see that I have provided some numbers, some other like special characters, for example, special symbols like ampersand, square brackets, exclamation points, question mark, open curly brace. So you will have to make sure those are not going to be turned into some other symbols. So that is why we have to define a specific range just from lowercase letter A to lowercase letter C. Then what we will, okay, if it is true, what will we do? We're going to say word I is equal to word I minus lowercase letter a minus the uppercase letter A. So that will give you 32, and you are going to use that number and then subtract that from word I. So word 0, word 1, word 2. If it is, the lowercase letter A through C. After that, once you finish the for loop, you have now changed the word to all uppercase. So now you can just return it. Okay. The same thing for the two lowercase. I'm just going to copy this part of the code, 5 lines, 5YY, and then paste that in here. Okay. Here, instead of two uppercase, the name should be two lowercase. So you can change that one. Two lowercase. Here, instead of lowercase a, now it should be uppercase A. I'm going to actually escape back into command mode. I'm actually going to use the tilde, the key at the upper left corner, and just change this one to uppercase. A. Change this one to uppercase letter C. And then let's see, this one should now add. So replace the symbol this time. That is the two lowercase function. Lastly, we have to write another function called equals, and it actually checks to see if both strings are equal or not. So first, when you look at the line number 28, you will see that equals function is being used inside the if statement. That means it's going to have to return either true or false so that the if condition can be evaluated and then decide whether I should print out both strings are equal or should I just print out the input strings are different. Okay. So go to line 19 or line 18. Hit letter O and then start typing. So Boolean is the return type bool. Name of the function is equals. You are going to have two inputs, both are going to be string. So maybe you can say string A and string B, just for this sake. So string A and string B should be good enough for the name. And then now we are going to just say return A equal B. Okay. So here you can argue and say, well, why do we have to write a function for this one? It's so simple. You can actually just put A equal B right here in here, and that's it. You can say word 1 equal word 2. True, but because this is a homework, we want you to practice. So that is the reason why we have asked you to do it this way. Okay. So there is another version of equals function. Let's actually take a quick look at that. Okay, so now here on line 24, you have a function called equals. This time, I'm actually checking the length first to see if both strings have the same length. If not, they are going to, be different. So return false. If they are the same length, I now have to check character by character to figure out if each one of them are they the same. If any one of them turns out to be different, while I'm checking it in the for loop, I can return it right away as false. If everything turns out to be the same, then you are not going to have any return false. You are going to finish the for loop and just return true at the end after the for loop has been completed. Okay, so we can go back. I'm going to compile homework 6. No error. So now let's run it. And normally, this is what you will do. You execute the code. You will type the word hello. Some numbers at the end, and then hello again, and 3. And then you will notice the input has been split back to you. Now, word in uppercase, you will have everything in uppercase, like HELLO. Word in lowercase, okay? And then they will say the input strings are different. One thing I want to mention is that if you have used pass by reference, let's say on line 7, when you declare the input parameter, if you use pass by reference, then what will happen is later on, since I'm actually set up in the main program where I reuse the word again for other function, you are not going to have the same word if you make the update directly. So that is the reason why I say, okay, to some of you when you ask me about it, why you don't use pass by reference for the input parameters. You just pass a regular string. So basically the program make a copy of it for the function. The function can do all kinds of updates. It will return that updated word. The updated word will print, and that's it. You're not actually saving it in any way. Okay? Excuse me. So you're actually not going to save it in any way, okay? Okay, so I have created a screen. Now let's take a look. I have this input underscore homework 6.test. So we are that file. And you'll notice that I have 5 lines. Each one is a test case. You will notice I have some special symbol like square brackets, the caret, the curly braces, the tilde, the exclamation points, and then some numbers. They're there because if your program have not defined the range to only those 32 letters, lowercase a to c, or uppercase a to c, depending on which function you're writing, then it will actually turn some other characters like accidentally that you don't want to. Now I'm going to run homework 6. I'm going to redirect the data from the input homework 6.test into this executable code. So here, well, you'll notice right here, since I'm not manually entering anything, so if I don't have the extra line to print out the inputs, then this will become blanks when I run the test script. So that is the reason why I have the extra line. I mentioned that in the main function, this is used for the test script. So now you can check and say, okay, are they all in uppercase? Yes. Lowercase? Yes. Any changes for the square brackets? No. Any changes for all the other special symbols? No. Numbers, let's see, they're okay. Lowercase, lowercase. So these two are the same. These two are the same, and then the other 3 test cases, the strings are different. So everything looks good, and that's it.